everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 7:02 here, Mountain Standard Time. Even in the West now, they've decided to join us here in AZ and be on the right time. Now, when I was in Cali, we voted for it, but they never could implement it. Wondered why. Always never knew what the heck's going on over there in the upper ups. And now I guess there's a recall that's been started with the governor of California. Oh yeah, talk about a shitstorm. Oh yeah, there you go. Started off early. Yo. Do you have your coffee? Do you have your morning coffee? I do. Yeah, barely got it, but I got it, man. Yeah, it's bright early in the morning, and yeah, for those who in Cali, oh, you can barely hear me? I turned the mic up, buddy. Let's see how it can work. Are we 5x5? I don't need you to hear me drink my coffee, man. Yep. Been up since about 6 this morning, preparing for this morning's report here, and well, my preparation is make the coffee and get it together. Yep. There'll be some subtle changes here in the mornings, and subtle, but been working in the studio here for probably 3 or 4 days, and if you didn't get to see that commercial, I'll play the commercial here in a few minutes. But yeah, it's we'll put that on this recording here for YouTube, and we'll go from there. But yeah, so in the broader spectrum, there's not a whole lot of sunspots to worry about. There is one that can still produce the X. And the earthquake numbers, other than Fiji, I think the world is just taking a break. The northern mid-Atlantic ridge finally bounced, as did the mid-Indian ridge, or the Chagos archipelago region, and now that the mid-Atlantic is hit, I'm interested in seeing what's going to transpire. Fiji's just been bouncing all over the place. Even the Sandwich Islands came in with a 5 this morning, or late yesterday. We've been watching Greece vibrate like wow, like big time. And now off the shore of Italy, they had a 4.8. We'll talk about that. And Tonga. Well, I had another 5. It's like, dang, man. And that Tonga 5 is right on the border between Fiji and Samoa. Why they don't call it Samoa, I don't know. But I think it's because where it's located, it's super close to Samoa. And we'll see that. We'll talk a little bit about that. Hopefully, we'll have something come up where we can talk. A couple of 4.5s and a 5 in Fiji, right? And the Tonga was a 5. It was shallow, but we were looking for a 6. So a shallow 6. But a couple of Fiji 4.5 and a 4.9. Both at better than 570 kilometers in depth. It's like, what the heck is it doing down there, man? It's so deep. I don't even think the vibration reaches what we can feel. I don't think it even reaches the surface. It's so darn deep down there. It's all Play-Doh, right? Liquid Play-Doh. Actually, it's more runnier. It's probably something else. But yeah, I was gonna play that, but I'm not. Solar wind right now is 426. The proton density per cubic meter is about 4. We've only had 2 C3s in the last 24 hours, so actually it's 1 C3. It happened today, and it nothing. I mean, zippo. We had a near X on the 10th. It was like an M7, and yesterday we popped out. The highest we popped out was a C9. So in the downward trend happening right now, the KP index is under 2. So, hey. And the aurora forecast is not a whole lot. So the interesting part, what's happening in the world today in space, is the comet 12P Pons-Brooks. As it's approaching the sun, it's putting off a little bit of a show, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. Yeah, so we'll look into that, and then we'll say good morning to you. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, Snowman, better known as what is it? The Walleye King. Yeah. And good morning to 42. Good morning, Rocket Bob 76. Good morning, Red Wagon. Good morning, Canuck. My brother. Good morning, Beth. Nice to see you early in the morning, Beth. Flutter Girl, of course. I'm interested in how your outing went last night. Doc Rock 18. Good morning. Good afternoon to you, Denise, in the UK. And good afternoon to you, Croatian Dude 96, out there in, where is that? In Croatia. Yeah, and good morning, Budgie Bird. Always a pleasure to see you. And Big T-shirt Billy. Yeah, he's there. And Snarls is in the house today. Yeah, and all y'all who aren't saying hi to us right now, do it. That way we can say good morning or afternoon or evening to you. And big hugs to y'all. Need coffee breath. I need coffee. Well, coffee to breathe. Oh, is it breath? All right. That's what Flutter said. But as we pursue, so let me go ahead and play this commercial that is going to be in all of our Among the Rabbit Hole. The rabbit hole is not part of this commercial, but we'll get there, and you'll see. And rabbit hole, hopefully tomorrow, can make it. Be great, and we'll figure something out. We always do. Anyway, be right back. Hi, I'm Joe of the Joe Slick Live Show. My interactive live show is on twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and occasionally in the evenings at 7. During the live show, I review and talk about reports from government, private, and other reporting agencies and websites regarding celestial and terrestrial phenomena. Topics will include solar flares, sunspots, geomatic storms, and near-Earth asteroids and comets that are being monitored around the world. Included in the report is current events in the last 12 to 24 hours here on Earth, consisting of volcanic, seismic, and weather events. I close the morning report off with what's happening in the local and world news. Thank you, and you can be a part of the morning report by going to twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. Look forward to seeing you there, and remember, don't get none on you. Alrighty then. Well, there's the commercial that I've developed. Still got a couple little minor errors, geomagnetic storms. geomagnetic storms, and a few other little minor voiceover issues. But that's pretty much in the can. I've been working on that in here in the studio. Oh, probably 3 or 4 days, and trying to get it to be semi-professional. Some of the screens flick a little bit quick, and I'll have to stretch it out a little bit longer, but that's pretty much what it is. For those people who are not on the Joe Slick live show here in the mornings, that will be what you'll see a lot of. I'm sure I think there's a way for that to happen, so that I can monitor how well that thing's doing. But 42's in the house. Yep, 42. Get him to get out of Cali too. That'd be great. Because Cali's going down the drain. Him and Scooby-Doo there. Thank you there, Budgie. All right, so Comet Prawns Brooks is the name of it, and it's pretty cool as it spirals through space. And let me see. Let me show you here. Dun 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 dun. And display caption right there. Well, that's the wrong one. Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Man. There we go. There you go. This is what it looks like as it spirals through space, running around the sun. Yeah. So pretty cool images. Jan Erik Valstad of Norway took this picture. And here's another one. It's a colored version. And no, it's not being spatially racist. We just use the word colored as saying it's been colored. It's got details that normally we don't with a black and white. And yeah, you can see that pretty far out. Somebody has colorized it. Pretty cool. Interesting how it spins, and then here's that reverse white and black. Can you imagine seeing things this way rather than the opposite way, where everything bright is dark and everything dark is bright? I don't know how that would be going through life like that. Far out. Oh, thank you, Jan. Here's the photographer's website, so you can enjoy that. astrobin.com, and yeah, you can put that right here. There you go. It's in chat. So there you have it. Then we'll see here. So solar wind right now is 426. Density is at 436. A glancing blow, maybe, from a CME, maybe. 35.99 popped one out. The M7.4 solar flare that kicked it up. And if we looked at what NOAA says, here's the 17th. They're pretty good at what they're knowing now. Starts on the 10th, a couple days ago. And they don't even have it registering. Today and tomorrow is the closest it will do. So the NASA version of that, I found it, but now I lost it. God bless America. Oh, right over here. The Integrated Space Weather Analysis from NASA. We'll wait till that kicks up. The sunspot is big enough to see from Mars. that big monster that kicked our X, big 3Xs the other day, the triple X, boom, 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 a couple of days. Well, it's about to come back. For it lived, it came through. Yeah, it came through. So it's going to be turning the corner. If I looked at LASCO right now, I don't see anything to indicate that it's doing anything, on this side. So it'd be like right here, so nothing to report there. And the integrated, we go to the events, see if these guys have it at all. Yeah, well, they do. Yeah, and it's out in front of us. All right, so boom, one clipped us. Yeah, and as you can see, most of the solar wind from it went north of us. If we looked at the solar wind from the Aussies, which the magnetopods we can see it bouncing around, dynamic pressure stays pretty low, one and under. Proton density stays around 5. The BZ stays -2 to +2, and solar wind doesn't get above 430. So standoff distance still between 10 and 15, and the satellites are all safe. So that's what all these things are, and nothing's going to knock it out. Not like the solar storm that hit a few months back, when almost a year now, when Elon Musk launched his, which I think there might be a launch today. Let's go ahead and check that. Rocket Lab, Owl Night Long, third mission, Synspective, in the strikes are Rocket Lab New Zealand launched one, 713 rocket, and Space One happens yesterday, but don't know what happened. The debut flight, Space One and Kairos rocket, quick response satellite for Japanese government. Today is the Falcon 9. No, tomorrow's the Falcon 9. See, I knew we were close. Starlink 644. Yeah, it was a Starlink shot that went up. It got knocked down by a solar flare. Yeah. Plasma got so strong it just went, and then they all crashed back down to Earth. So, yeah, that happened here last year. And so there's a reason we watch what's going on in space, when it comes down to it. We don't need our rockets being brought back down. Not unless you're SpaceX, when they blow their own rockets up, I guess. Remember that one, the flying, what was it? Phallic symbol that flew over toward Mexico when they pushed the button and blew it up. Yeah. And yeah. So there's no really significant coronal holes just see there's a little one here. And we might get a little bit of wind out of that, or that one. Little tiny bit uptick. Remember, we travel between 2 and 350 kilometers a second when nothing's happening. So anything above that, it's kind of like, what? Okay, we're at 430. All right, there's a little bit of wind. The Arctic stratosphere is too warm for the type 2 polar stratospheric clouds to happen. So that's a complaint for some. There were 7 fireballs over North America here over the last 24 hours. And North America is Canada, U.S., and Mexico. And NORAD's watching them. Mm-hmm. And, the southern season for the noctilucent clouds is over. It detected inside an Arctic Circle on December 4th, 2023. And by NOAA 21 satellite, February 21st. That was the last time. So they're over. Class M chance 20%. Class X 5%. Yeah, this is a little hot here. Well, can't even lower my own headset. Wonder, because it's on voice chat. Oh my gosh. All right. No, well, that ain't the one I want. This one is. Pardon me while I fix my GoXLR. My ears are ringing. Channel 2 is headphone. There we go. Yeah, I could turn it down so I'm not blowing my own ears out. I know y'all need it loud, so that's why it's loud. But on my end, it's like, whoa, super loud. And I'm having trouble raising my voice, Geomagnetic storm probability, 5% in the next 24 hours. Yeah. 5% in the mid-latitudes and 15% in the uppers. And you can see here, the velocity of the wind, it's orangey, so it's just a little bit about 4, right? Look at all the protons. Yeah, there isn't any. Yeah, all the blue, that's protons. Yeah, you see the waves coming in, it gets up there, when it's white, it's 0. When it's dark blue, it's 4. Yeah. So a little buffet of our magnetosphere. Yeah. Here's the dynamic pressure. The red is saying, hey, something's pushing us, whether it be our magnetosphere or the, I don't know what it's called, like the Magellan something back here behind the planet. That's where you see all this, pressure right here. I forget what it's called, but it's back. It's in the back there. I'll find out someday. I'll memorize it. Like names and numbers, forget about it. For me, sometimes I got to say it a billion times. Someday, oh yeah, I get it. Or make up somebody's name like I did. New Brunswick, Canada guy. I call him Canuck. And that's an endearment because I do love the guy. He's pretty great. Yeah, I talk him up a little bit. Yeah, he doesn't need it, but so there's not a whole lot of pressure to push along our planet. And the reason I watch this is because if you took two magnets in the opposite polarities, they attract, right? So there's like that momentum that builds until whap, they hit each other. And conversely, when you can, if they're the same magnetism, you can push one magnet and push the other one clear away, and they'll never touch. Yeah, that's kind of what happens here in the magnetosphere. When the polarity is the same, it buffets it. And if it's buffeting it, and whatever's holding it, like the core of the Earth, right? So it moves the core of the planet, right? So if there's a lot of, let's say if both of them are positive right now, and the Earth's not calling the sun for different, juice or magnetism, and if they're both positive, and then when the positive rays come into the planet, well, the magnetosphere gets pushed, and when it gets pushed and buffeted, I think it moves also a bit of the core, and buffets the core, and then things like earthquakes and storms and other things like that happen. That's just my theory. If you have a different theory, go ahead and put that in chat or indoor. Send me an email in regards to that, and that'll be great, and I'll check it out. And if I need corrected, then I'm being corrected. That's all good. We're all learners here. If you're not a learner, you're probably in the wrong place, because we kind of push towards that. We're learning, educating one another. No one person can do it all, but you have enough for one day and one moment of time, what you need. And if you don't have it and you ask for help, and if there's nobody there, then you just don't do it. You just don't do it, or you theorize like I do. Because, the only friend I got is the one in the mirror. And I kind of like that guy. But I have family, family. They'll chew you up at the dinner table, right? Yeah, it's a good thing we got rid of the dinner table. Anyway, so the launch schedule is tomorrow, and it'll be at 4:30 in the afternoon at Kennedy Space Center. And Kairos is today. I think of a test flight. It's a test flight. Okay. Yeah. Rocket will carry a quick response satellite for the Japanese government. Yeah. You know what that means. Mm-hmm. But anyway. As we watch the boomer just miss us. Right? That was NASA. That thing worked this time. Crazy, right? Is there any FAWs out there? You know what a FAW is? Well, that's a potentially hazardous asteroid. That's an asteroid about the size of American football field, you know, NFL, you know, 300 feet long. And it's 100 meters long or greater. And, well, I'm not saying traveling. Let's just say in our vicinity of Earth, the distance would be 5% distance from the Earth toward the sun. Not the sun toward the Earth, but Earth toward the sun. Anything within that realm is potentially hazardous to us or to our satellites or our rockets. And Mars is further away than that. So what we do is we use a lunar distance. And the lunar distance is basically 384,401 kilometers, or basically 240,250 miles. Yeah. So 250,000 miles is each lunar distance, which takes the light speed 3.5 seconds to get from the Earth to the moon. About 3.5 seconds. So if the Earth blew up, the moon wouldn't know it for 3.5 seconds. Then all of a sudden, whoa. Unless things were traveling faster than light speed, but that's impossible, right? Yeah, because then you go back in time. And it didn't happen. So is it happening? Did the Earth blow up and we going back in time? I don't know. Anyway, just playing with the words. Today being the 12th of March, there's two rocks out there. One is 66 feet across. Its traveling speed is 19.6 kilometers every second. So a 66-foot rock traveling that fast. And get this, it's less than 2 lunar distances away. So it's 500,000 miles. Yeah. And you can probably guesstimate that on how many Earth is 25,000, right? So do the math, I can't. But 1.7 kilometers are lunar distances. So if I did a lunar distance 240,250 multiplied by 1.7, that's about 408,000 miles, right? Is that right? No, that's not right. What the heck? Yeah, that is right. It's less than 500,000 miles away. 66-foot rock. And, they may not miss the little ones, And the other one that's traveling is a bit larger. It's 113, basically 339 feet across. Basically. Yeah. That's a big one. Yep. And it's traveling in 11.1 kilometers a second, which is about 17 miles, 17 3/4 miles every second. Multiply that by 60 seconds. It's 1,000 miles an hour. A 300-foot rock traveling 1,000 miles an hour. It's pretty quick. If I did the math right, I don't know if I did it right. Well, I'll see. Yeah, I did. Yeah. 1,000 miles an hour rock traveling. Jeez. No, 1,000 miles a minute. Sorry. Multiply for the hour would be 63,000 miles an hour. I don't know what the hell that was. I guess there's a... This mic is so sensitive, it's picking it up. No, that was a low-flying plane. I'm like, hey. Yeah, there was a plane flying overhead, and I was like, threw me off. I said, am I getting feedback here? Yeah, give me feedback. Anyway, so we have a couple of rocks flying through space. And that big one, that is, pretty large, it's nearly 5 million miles away. 19.4, right? So 19.4 times 384,401 divided by 1.6. About 4,660,862 miles. Yeah. So right under 500 or 5 million miles. That big old giant rock is traversing through space with us. So it's a little bit of a threat, but it's right at the outer reaches of that 5% distance. That 5% distance is roughly 5 million miles. 19 and a half lunar distances. And this rock is, 19.4 lunar distances. There you have it. Yep. And tomorrow there's one that's pretty small, and not until the 16th when there's a few other ones. But we'll have to wait until in April before we'll see a super big one, a 600-footer. In the beginning of April, there'll be another 345-footer. Yep. And I guess April is when all the big ones happen. I'm talking, 18,000 feet. Wait, no. Yeah. 609. Well, maybe I'm how do I do that? It's 609 meters multiplied by 3, right? Yeah. 1,800 feet across. Can you imagine an 1,800-foot building zipping by your spacecraft? Yeah. Can you imagine if it pulverized you? Yeah. Especially when it's traveling. Get this. 16.5 kilometers a second, right? That's what it's traveling a minute. That's what it's traveling in an hour. That's 37,000 miles an hour. Ah, hey. Something the size of a, 10-story building, right? Traveling at that speed? Shoot. Oh my gosh. 1,800 foot. Well, we have 15 times 20. And it's bigger than that. 15 times 90. That's not even close. 15 times 200. All right, it's less than that. So 15 times 12. 180. Well, then are we talking a 20-story building or less than that, right? Yeah, about a 15-story building, right? Flying by you. Whoa! And that's 15 up and 15 down and 15 deep. 15 cubic. Yeah, that's a little planet. Yeah. That's flying by your spaceship, which is, size of a bus, maybe a half of a bus. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it's like, we look at these things like, hey, that's pretty crazy. That's crazy. Looking at the X-rays, and we looked at already the sun here. We looked at the coronal mass ejections. There isn't any to really name. There's a little bit of bump, but we don't know if that's for or towards or away from us. And here's the aurora forecast. Again, maybe more Europe side. The proton flux threshold, when you fly in a plane, you don't want to get irradiated. Right now is a good time to fly. So it's pretty low. We're under 2. We're just under 2. The planetary K index, right? Yeah. And so you could see here, we're in a little bit of rise. We're in a C1 right now. We'll see what happens. We'll be taking a view of that one. 6 hours. And it's already petered out. So nothing to worry about there. So that's happening, or didn't happen. But if you're always looking for what? Yeah. All right, here we are here. Right, here's the sun, Sol. Right, Venus and Mars are off to the right. Mercury, Jupiter, and Uranus is off to the left. Yeah, that doesn't say something. Saturn and Neptune are out on the other side of the sun. And, right, so it depends on where our satellites are. That's what we can view. We just saw Merc and we saw Saturn here. Yeah, that was a cement mixer. Yeah, traveling down the road. Let's see. What else we got? All right. Well, I haven't seen tremors in a while. That's a good thing too. But there's only 21 of them, and they're right there just outside of Medford and Grants Pass. Happening all the time right there. It's kind of weird. Roseburg, this area just vibrates so much. And also the Trinity Forest, right? And then up here in the Klamath Forest. All this area vibrates. You got to wonder why. Well, in this map, you're not going to see it. But if I click the USGS, all right, and put the train on, there you go, you'll see that there's a Blanco fracture zone that comes right in just underneath Medford, and the Gorda Escarpment that runs right to Lassen, or just below Lassen. And you would think, and then this is the contours of the subduction zone here, the Juan de Fuca subduction. And you'd think that that's what's going on out here. Well, the Pacific Ocean is moving in that direction, the plate. This is the Pacific plate. This is the North American plate. They're being all grinded up against each other. And it appears that the Pacific plate has gone underneath, parts of it, or it's run up against North America, and it's brought up all this land out of the water as it crunches up against North America. And as it does, it vibrates, and these vibrations is out here. And most of the vibrations happen in the south here. A few happen up in here, and we have to wonder why. And we understand that to be the subducting plate vibrating underneath Seattle and Victoria and Vancouver and the Olympic Peninsula here. And the old Silesia, igneous province that came up from Mexico and crunched up against the Pacific Northwest and creating it. And that's where the Cascade volcanoes are, right through here. And we monitor those as well. And these Cascade volcanoes, they are active. And the bottom one is Lassen, Mount Lassen down here. And there's another one out here, but it hasn't erupted. It's a molehill. And then Shasta is part of the Cascadal Range as well. So in the south, there's those two. And in the north, we have a mountain here, and there. All just in Washington. And there's a bunch of slew of other ones that two series of volcano in the volcanic arc up in the Pacific Northwest. There are volcanoes that are 100 million years ago were erupting, and then there's the last 30 million years, and that's where the Cascades are. They're roughly 30 million years, 40 million, maybe 50 million years starting up. So, and they travel all the way through Oregon as well. And we monitor those with the tremors as well. And being it that this is happening down here and we don't see any tremors being reported up here, we'll go up here and we'll look at the volcano seismicity, and we'll look at Rainier, and we'll look at one of the signals here on the southwest, Camp Muir, and we'll take a look at those. There you go. So these are the events that are happening, and you'll see that there is a bit of background noise, and I think that background noise is due to weather. And if I went to COD real quick to check out the weather that just happened, oh yeah, there's been some storms that just came through the Pacific Northwest, and it's just about hit me. Oh, bummer. I was wondering why it was cold this morning, 40 degrees. Yeah. I live in the desert, man. Yeah. And, yeah. Moving through, it says. Moving through. Yeah. And looks like maybe a little bit of ice cream. Got a little bit of messy mess. Yeah, or he's going to get some messy mess today. So up in the Washington area, I can see some clouds moving through. And if we look at the windy, we can check out to see just how much wind is up there in the Pacific Northwest. And let's go here, wind speed. You know, if we went up to 8,000 feet, 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. And down here, it kicks up a little bit higher where the 36 right here. So the vibrations may be related to that, and also up in the mountain here, high 30s. And you can see way out here, 60 mile an hour. So big storm off the coast, you know, pushing wind right into the Pacific Northwest. High pressure down here, you know, but it's pushing all that wind right up in there. So when we're looking at the vibrations in the background, that's what all this mess is here. These are maybe rock falls or tree falls, or remember, Rainier's pretty big. Could be snow melt, or, you know, something happening, or even an earthquake. Generally, they'll say what the earthquake is, and these are like very small vibrations. You know. So if we went up to, let's look at St. Helens. St. Helens has been on the move late. So let's go ahead and check it just off the front face. Studebaker Ridge. There you go. Some noise came through, and then a little bit less, and it'll picked up. So that's Studebaker. And volcano. Let's look at Mount Hood there in Oregon. And we'll take a look at the top of Hood. Miltman Doom's in the house. Uncle Milty. How are you doing, Uncle Milty? Yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah. Some pretty good vibrations going on up at the top. And it's probably due to weather. We'll find out tomorrow if there's anything reported by the PNSN, Pacific Seismic Network, Pacific North Seismic Network, Pacific Nose, and whatever. And that'll do for them. So buoys. Is there any active buoys? Usually I say, any drunk Chinamen out there, and to show us anything happening. Only reason being is because this yellow here, and these two yellows, It used to go bang, 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 and it went back and forth, I don't know, for a couple of years. And then they got all pissy with the United States and over here with Taiwan and, the U.S. going through Taipei and around it. And, oh, this is part of China. No, it's not. It is. No, it's not. But hey, so I spotted the Chinese, talking and saying, yeah, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. Now they don't do it anymore. Yeah, somebody found out. Our signal. Mm-hmm. And so no drunk Chinaman's out here today. Over here to Ruskies in the North Atlantic, not seeing anything vibrating out there. But they're out there. Right along with probably a 3 or 4 LA class, sub killers. And each one. We have a ton of them. There's a ton out in the Pacific, that's for sure. And let's see, what else? We can go on to any power outages in the U.S.? Nah, not too much. Hurricane notices. Nothing to report right now in the Eastern Pacific. In the Central Pacific, not yet time. Right? And the Atlantic, nothing reporting. Hey, they updated this thing, boy. I'm gonna love it. Yeah. They've updated this here. I can look at the tropical full basin here. Yeah. Oh boy. NOAA has upgraded their system. Right on, NOAA. Somebody has to. Yeah. And okay, so how about the volcano news? In the news today, according to Volcano Discovery, is a bunch. Well, sorry about all the TNA on the screen there. Volcano Discovery. In the news today, according to them, March 12th, 2024, Santa Guido, Fuego, Popo, Ibu, Nevada del Ruiz, Semicaya, Ebico, and Fuego is popping about 15,000. So subtract the height of the mountain at 12.3, 3,500 foot pop. Maybe 30,000, maybe, if you're lucky. Depends on the weather. Depends on the weather. Santa Guido, which is about 50 miles north. Yeah, 50 miles northeast of Fuego, there in Guatemala. Same height, but it's only up to 14, so maybe 1,500 foot popper. So it doesn't look like anything's going on there. Nevada del Ruiz in Colombia. Yeah, possible emissions, and it's a 17 and change, pumping smoking to about 20,000. So don't fly 20,000 feet below around Nevada del Ruiz. Yeah, Popo, frequent emissions and squirts up in the air. 22,000. It's a 17.8 going to 22. Near 5,000 foot. It's almost a mile high. Semicaya, down in Peru, in the armpit of South America, right? Unable to detect it. But old Ibu, look at old Ibu, popping away, boom. In Halmahera, occasionally above average explosions continue. They're saying as well, it's above average explosions. And both Ibu and Dakota there on Halmahera. I know what it's Halmahera, but I have another syllable and I added it. Deal with it, because I like it better. I'm sorry. So it is popping. Both Ibu and Dakota both popping. Couple thousand feet up. They've been averaging 7,000 to 9,000 feet when both mountains are under 4,300. So a mile high, they've been popping almost every day, multiple times. So there's something happened there in a celeb sea, something's going on. Ebico volcano popping a 14, and I think it's an 8,000 foot Ebico. Yeah, no, it's 37. Oh, it's not. I got it mixed up with another one. Let me show you where Ebico is here. I had it mixed up with. Oh boy, yeah, it happens. If we go up like this, yeah, there's Kamchatka. It's exactly what I thought it was. I thought it was 8,000, but it's 30. It's 3,000 feet. So yeah, a little popper there at Ebico. And Kamchatka, just off the shore, Kamchatka. Yeah, 14,000 foot. And it's a 3,700 foot mountain. Generally, when it pops real good, it goes to about 10,000. But this one's 14. That's a 10,000 foot popper. We have a winner so far. This is the biggest explosion of the day. Kamchatka. And that's the Nevada del Ruiz 22 there in Colombia. Colombia. At 17 and change and less. So what we have is Ebico's way up here. Ebico's here, Shivalush is up there. And the Japanese aren't popping in the news. I don't know why. Sakurajima yesterday went 7,000. Yeah. And it's like a 4,300. So, yeah. I'm watching Japan right now. Just because. As I grab for the coffee. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, earthquakes, we've talked about it already, but we'll review what the EMSC has to say in the last 12 hours. Yep. Accept that, cookies. Give me cookies. Ooh, Cookie Monster. As you can see, they're recording in the region here, Indonesia, right up in through Southern Europe, Turkey and Greece still banging away, Central America, and then way down here in Chile. That's it. It's just 4 different areas. One Fiji, of course, but not a big deal. That always happens. So Panama had a 4, which is right in here, and put that up to there, and Seram Sea, Indonesia is 3 9s, 3.9 it is. Costa Rica's 3.9. Southern Greece still popping away. Greece. I'm seeing lots of greasers. Yep. Colima, Mexico, had a 3. It's small, but hey. Out there in the Indian Ocean, right out here, that pop was a 5.1. We talked about that in the beginning. 4.9 in northern mid-Atlantic ridge, right here, off just south of the Rick James. I know it's Rick James, but I call it Rick James, okay? It's my way of, having fun. Hey. Science can be boring, but you got to make it fun. India region, 4.3, right? Right up here, boom. Right? And that happened 5 hours ago, almost 6. Greece is still saying hello many times. I thought I saw something. Just my mental. Yellowstone National Park came out with a 2.3, so probably we should check out Mary's site, and she'll bring up. She watches it really well, and I appreciate her. Mary News, and we'll pop in and we'll see. Hi to Mary. 4.1 Guerrero, Mexico. That's down there by central Mexico. On the coast, that is. Off the coast of Oaxaca had a 3.8, so right in that same time period, strength. Keep seeing it. Where did I see that? Yeah, Guerrero, Mexico 4-1. All right. 4-3, South Kermadec Islands. Just real close to New Zealand there. Popping with a 4.3 at 0 depth. And I don't think we have any tsunami warnings. No. All right. Yeah. 0 depth means it's at sea level, so it's on the island. It's on an island. Yeah, South Kermadec Islands. Let's see exactly where the hell that thing hit. Because it is at 0. Yeah. Oh, crap. What did I do that for? All right, so maps. Says it was right here. There must be an island in there. 0 depth. All the depths are at sea level, so, maybe something, singing tiny bubbles. Yeah, right. Anyway, King Kong out there singing tiny bubbles. Near coast of Ecuador, 4.1. All right, now you remember wasn't in the news today, but the Galapagos were erupting, right? And it didn't make the news today. And we can look at, we'll look at GE. Why not? View, layers, everything. Okay, good. Yeah, we can look at zooming down to the Galapagos right down here. It wasn't Sierra Azul was erupting. I think wasn't Cumbre. This is Wolf up here. That was erupting. Darwin, no. I don't know which one was erupting. Well, anyway, maybe it was on this one. Yeah, anyway, this was erupting here, and now we have an earthquake. Here's Ecuador right over here. So off the coast, I think it would be right up in here. Panama just had an earthquake, so we should look that up here. Off the near the coast of Ecuador here. Looking it up. Maps. Earthquake location. Yeah, just off the coast. So, all right. All right, underneath the point. Somewhere right up in here. Yeah, right up in here had a quake. Next to the island. There is no freaking island there, man. Why do they show an island when I don't see an island? Or an inlet, for that matter. Huh. There's the subduction zone right here, right? Plate boundary. You can see the way these lines here go, the breaks in the plate, right? And Piedmont, all right. There, I guess it's right up in here. So right up in here, Bolivar, Maldonado. It's where the river exits. And yeah, there we go. So this earthquake here happened, and you can see the plate boundary right here. It breaks up, goes up to Panama. Rarely, ever rarely does the mainland of Panama have earthquakes. Generally speaking, they happen out to sea. Yeah, and boom. So, in the Panamanian earthquake, let me see if I can find it for you. Mid-Atlantic. I can go like that. Panamanian. It's off. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I don't think USGS will even cover it. But we can look. No, they don't. Freaking butt brains. Yeah. There's Panama right here. All right, maps. Yeah, it's on where the last on land hit. So right in here, right on front. And it's very rare for these to happen. All right. Somewhere right up in here. You can see the subduction zone right here. Plate boundary. So it happened right up in here. So if this happened and we have another one happened right here, straight across. 2 earthquakes that close with the plate boundary being the what it is. I think they're related. But then again, who's the professional? Anyway, silly wabbit. Yeah, I know I'm being silly wabbit. Yeah. So I'm not seeing anything. Well, Northwest Kuril Islands, and we looked at that one. So yeah, right here at the bottom. Right there by Kamchatka. So this earthquake happened, and we got Ebico right there next to it. You know, banging away. Related? I think so. Well, shoot, that'll do it. 8:04. We got done in an hour with this thing. There's a whole lot going on in the world, and we'll talk about that here shortly after the break. You know, do I have one of them breaks here? Yeah, hang in there. Don't get none on you. We'll be right back, and don't forget, you know, rabbit hole here. Wednesday, right? Tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have to put that on there and get to you. And again, for those who didn't see it, enjoy while I line up the next. Need a cup of coffee? Give me a little 3-minute break here. Hi, I'm Joe of the Joe Slick Live Show. My interactive live show is on twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and occasionally in the evenings at 7. During the live show, I review and talk about reports from government, private, and other reporting agencies and websites regarding celestial and terrestrial phenomena. Topics will include solar flares, sunspots, geomagnetic storms, and near-Earth asteroids and comets that are being monitored around the world. Included in the report is current events in the last 12 to 24 hours here on Earth, consisting of volcanic, seismic, and weather events. I close the morning report off with what's happening in the local and world news. Thank you, and you can be a part of the morning report by going to twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live. Look forward to seeing you there, and remember, don't get none on you. Alrighty then.